Okay, let's jump right in. We're doing a deep dive on the Aquara Presence Sensor FP2. This is the PSS02D model, and it basically promises to fix one of the biggest frustrations in the smart home, but only if you can really get it working with Home Assistant.
Right, and that frustration is the lights turning off on you when you're sitting still. We call it ghosting. Our mission here is to get past that, to move beyond basic PIR motion sensors to real static presence. This is what you need for those big multi-zone rooms.
And the tech that gets us there is the 60 gigahertz millimeter wave radar. That's the key, right? How does that actually solve the ghosting problem?
Well, it's incredibly sensitive. It's not just looking for big movement. One-wave radar it can literally track your breathing.
Just breathing.
Yeah, or tiny shifts in your posture.
Hmm.
It measures these microscopic changes in the environment, so it knows you're there, even if you are, completely motionless.
What's really wild is just the sheer scale this one little device can handle.
Exactly. One FP2 can cover up to 40 square meters. That's about 430 square feet. But here's the kicker. It can break that area up into 30 different addressable zones.
30? How?
It maps the room onto this massive grid, 16 by 20. So you get 320 individual cells it's monitoring. Each one is tiny, a quarter of a square meter. It means it knows the difference between your chair and the lamp right next to it. A PIR sensor could never do that.
And that kind of precision, it needs constant power. So it's wired, USB-C, but there's a really important warning here about the power brick. Why do they say to avoid the modern PD chargers?
Because those power delivery bricks, they sort of negotiate the voltage.
Yeah.
The sensor just needs a stable, constant power draw for the radar to be stable. That negotiation it can cause problems. So just use a standard, simple charger. And yes, it does have a lux sensor built in too, which is great for lighting automations.
Okay, so we've got this amazing hardware, but the integration, that sounds like the hard part. It's Wi-Fi and connects to Home Assistant through the HomeKit controller. Why can't we just set it up in HA directly?
You just can't. It's not a native integration. You absolutely have to use the official Aquara Home app first. That's where you do all the room mapping. It's mandatory if you want to actually use those zones you paid for.
And once you've spent all that time mapping, there are some serious traps. You need firmware version 1.1.6 or newer for local control. That's essential. And if it was ever connected to Apple Home, you have to go in and manually hit remove accessory.
Wait, can I jump in? The biggest pitfall. The one thing you must not do. Do not touch the physical reset button on the device.
Why not?
It doesn't just unpair it. It completely wipes all your room maps, all the zones you configured, everything. You have to start the entire process from scratch.
That feels like a huge design flaw. I mean, hours of work just gone.
Ouch is right. So once it's integrated, then the next challenge is latency, getting that instant response. To get lights to turn on the second you walk into a zone, there's a trade-off, a big one. You have to disable the AI person detection feature in the Aquara app.
Really? You lose the feature that can track up to 5 different people. But you're saying that speeds things up.
It makes a huge difference. That AI processing adds a ton of overhead, sometimes 30 seconds of lag or more. For lighting, you want speed. So for most people, turn it off.
And then there's preventing the false positives, the other side of ghosting. You have to be really meticulous, right? Marking walls as edge and things like fans as interference.
You can't skip that homework, no. And that brings us to the OFF logic in Home Assistant. It's tricky. A simple timer isn't enough. The sensor has its own internal delay. So for a reliable off, you wait a good amount of time, say 60 seconds, and then you do a final double check. You have to confirm the main occupancy sensor, A&T SAM-B. All the individual zones are simultaneously not detected. That's the only way to be sure.
So to wrap this up, what it means for you is that the FP2 offers this just incredible spatial detail. 30 zones down to a quarter square meter. But you only unlock that power if you master a pretty complex setup and you're really diligent with the configuration.
Right. And if we look ahead, the reason it's so complicated right now is this single controller limit, this whole proprietary app and HomeKit workaround. But the word is that future firmware will bring full Matter support. If that happens, it should completely change the game. It would simplify the whole integration, making this powerful sensor way more accessible for everyone.